The highway at 3 in the morning is a lonely place. It's just you, a ribbon of asphalt stretching into the black and the low rumble of your engine. My name's Jack, and I've been driving these roads for 20 years. You see things out here, things you can't explain, but nothing like what happened on that stretch of Route 80, somewhere deep in the heart of nowhere. The coffee had long since worn off, and my eyelids felt like they were lined with sandpaper. I was hauling a load of produce from Omaha to Salt Lake City, a straight shot through the dark. To stay awake, I did what I always do. I fiddled with the old radio dial. It's an ancient rig, a classic Peterbilt, and the radio is just as old school. No satellite, no Bluetooth, just a temperamental dial that usually coughed up static or faint country music. Tonight, though, was different. As I twisted the knob, a voice cut through the static, crystal clear. It was a man's voice, smooth and deep, like honey mixed with gravel. "Welcome back to the Midnight Road," he said. "The only station that travels with you. Tonight a special dedication for a weary traveler, ... Jack. Yes, you, Jack. We know you're listening." I froze. My hand dropped from the dial. It had to be a coincidence. Jack's a common name. But then the voice continued. "Been a long time since you left home, hasn't it? 20 years since that argument with your father. You said you'd never go back, and you never have." A cold dread trickled down my spine. Nobody knew about that, not even my ex-wife. It was a secret I'd buried so deep I'd almost forgotten it myself. I reached to change the station, but my hand wouldn't move. I was mesmerized, terrified. "Don't touch that dial, Jack," the voice burned. "The show's just getting started. For instance, up ahead, around that next big curve. Watch out for the deer." My heart hammered against my ribs. It was a straight road for miles, no curves in sight. The guy was just messing with me. A prank. A pirate radio station with a good PI who'd dug up some dirt on truckers. But then, as if summoned from the darkness itself, the road began to bend. A long, sweeping curve I hadn't seen on any map. And as my headlights swung around, 3 deer stood frozen in the beams, their eyes like glass marbles. I slammed on the brakes, the air brakes hissing in protest, the whole rig groaning as it swerved. I missed them by inches, my trailer fishtailing before I wrestled it back under control. I sat there, shaking, my breath coming in ragged gasps. The radio crackled back to life. "Book close one, wasn't it, Jack? Good reflexes. Reminds me of that time you spun out on the ice outside of Cheyenne, remember? You broke your arm, but you never told the dispatch, just wrapped it up and kept driving. Always so stubborn." He knew everything. The details were too specific, too personal. This wasn't a prank. This was something else. Panic began to set in, a cold, suffocating blanket. I grabbed my phone to call for help, but there was no signal, of course. There never was, out here. No bars. "Jack," the voice asked, a hint of amusement in his tone. "Don't worry. We're all the company you need tonight. And we have another prediction for you. See that flickering light up ahead? That's a gas station. Looks abandoned, doesn't it? But a state trooper is parked just behind it, waiting for someone speeding. You might want to slow down." Sure enough, a single, sad light blinked in the distance. My speedometer read 75/10 over the limit. My foot eased off the accelerator. As I passed the dilapidated building, my headlights caught the glint of a police cruiser, tucked perfectly out of sight. My blood ran cold. He hadn't just predicted it. He'd saved me from a ticket, maybe worse. Was this a guardian angel? A bizarre, all-knowing guide on the radio? The thought was almost comforting until the voice spoke again. The tone had changed. The smooth, velvety quality was gone, replaced by something sharper, colder. You've been lucky so far, Jack, but luck runs out. You've been running your whole life, running from your past, from your mistakes, running from what you did to Sarah. The name hit me like a physical blow. Sarah, my high school girlfriend. The accident. It wasn't my fault. Everyone said so. A patch of black ice, a swerve, the impact. But I'd always carried the guilt, a heavy stone in my gut. It wasn't the ice, was it, Jack? The voice whispered, now seeming to come from inside the cab, right next to my ear. You were fighting. You were yelling. You took your eyes off the road, just for a second. But a second was all it took. Tears streamed down my face, blurring the white lines on the road. No, I choked out, the word barely a sound. No. Oh yes! The voice hissed. And now, for our final broadcast of the evening, a special forecast just for you. In exactly 2 miles, there's an old wooden bridge over a dry riverbed. It's not on the maps anymore. It was deemed unsafe decades ago. But you're going to take it, Jack. No, I won't, I yelled at the dashboard. I'll stop. I'll turn around. The voice let out a low, chilling chuckle. It was a sound that didn't belong in the human world. It was a sound of ancient hunger, of patient evil. You don't understand, Jack. This isn't a warning. This isn't a prediction. My headlights suddenly picked up the start of a dirt turnoff I hadn't noticed, leading away from the main highway. My hands were on the wheel, but I wasn't in control. The truck began to turn, its massive weight moving with a will of its own, guided by an unseen force. I fought it, pulling with all my strength, my muscles screaming in protest. But it was like trying to stop a mountain from moving. The truck lumbered onto the dirt path. The voice on the radio was calm again, but it was the calm of a predator that has its prey cornered. We're not here to warn you, Jack. We're here to collect. All these years, you thought you were just driving. But you were always heading here, to us. In the distance, illuminated by my own headlights, I saw it, the bridge. A skeletal silhouette against the moonless sky, its timbers rotted and broken. The truck didn't slow down. It picked up speed, the engine roaring like a beast. This station isn't on the dial, Jack, the voice concluded, its tone dripping with a terrible finality. We're the last thing you'll ever hear. We're not broadcasting to you. We're hunting you. The front wheels of my Peterbilt hit the first planks of the bridge with a deafening crack. The last thing I heard before the world splintered into a nightmare of snapping wood and falling steel was the sound of the crash. But the faint, mocking static of the radio, signing off for the night. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this story, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell for more tales from the dark.